do this real quick. This is for the week ahead, which actually starts today, 324 to 330. There's a pin post, 324, 2025. Thoughts manifest the guidance that controls you. And I put in the reference of this old movie from 1935, 36 called The Greener Pastures. Look it up. I think I shared a little bit of it, but just look it up. It's an old slave-minded movie called Greener Pastures. Today, 324, 2025 is also a 99. 99 is what you hear me call end game. It's where you're just trying to get to the end of a perceived experience. It's basically what your goal is. To tie that back to Greener Pastures, my whole phone went in and out, so I don't know what's that about. To tie that into that movie, The Greener Pastures, if your whole end game is based off of a programming, but the programming that you've been fed into is not really for your benefit, but that's the only thing you strive for, gotta let your life tell your tale. Really. So 99, the end game, but most of the games only end you as you get lost into their agendas. The inability to think is a real common thing. Hell, just ran into that a few minutes ago. Look at what... No, I ain't gonna do that to you. Look at your blessings. 324, 2025. 3 is your thoughts. 24 is manifestation. Your thoughts are going to manifest. 2025 is control. Your thoughts are going to manifest what's controlling you. The whole problem is if you're not thinking for yourself, you're already under control. So 324, 25. The thoughts is going to manifest the guidance that controls you. But if you ain't in control of yourself, carelessness. 7 in reverse. 7, spiritual journey. 7, self-awareness. Today will show you carelessness. And again, this is the field of time. That is Metatron. That is the scribe, the one that is writing the story, a Tahuti, Thoth type energy. If somebody else is writing your story and you're just a NPC in somebody else's game, but you're calling it your life, make that make sense. So that'll take you into tomorrow, 325, 2025. Thoughts can trick you into surrendering your control. It's really just a continuation. You might not like the words, but you got to look around you and let your life tell your tale. If you think this is what life is, you ain't been paying the fucking attention. Really. So 325, 2025. Thoughts, 3. 25. 25 is the queen of fire. It's the influence over what's got your energy. See what I said about 324. If the only thing that has influenced your energy is the same things that have already been burning you, that's trauma response. So 325, 2025, the thoughts trick you into surrendering your control because you trust the guidance more than you take accountability for what you need guidance for and through. That is a lot of people. You keep going through bad relationships, and you can carry that on any level, from personal, family, financial, governmental, religion. It don't matter. You have a bad relationship and you see where it's not conducive to your growth, but you invest more in it, hoping that you'll get to a point to where it's good for you. That don't make sense. You're drinking poison and wondering why you get sick, and you think that if you keep drinking enough of the poison, one day you'll be well. Holiness Goddess, how you doing, Melodic? So, 325, 2025. The thoughts will trick you into giving up your own control. You become your own devil. You become your own devil. We started out with 7. Now we're at 6. 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. You're going backwards. You are your own devil. You are using what is harming you as a method of what's going to help you get out of harm. Make that make sense. Quick analogy. Family Guy, Stan Smith, went to the car dealership. The car salesman tricked him into buying a car. Went back because the car was broken, and the car salesman tricked him into buying even a more expensive car. Went back, car salesman just got him in a loop. He's going to who already is harming him for help. You ain't doing no helping. You ain't doing nothing but helping who harm you. Let your life tell your tale. You keep feeding the system. You keep feeding sicknesses that you think are going to give you healing. Take that on all levels. Glamorize spirituality. Take that on all levels. Keep thinking that you can go out here and take a 6-week shaman course from somebody who just gave you a pamphlet, and that's going to introduce you into high stage healing. It's going to introduce you to some high stage fuckery. And then you're going to be calling a motherfucker like me. And you ain't gonna like what I have to say. But you'll probably lie and be mad at what I said because I didn't nurture your feelings where you weren't smart enough to stop hurting yourself. You're gonna go find somebody to help you hurt yourself even more. Carelessness. And then you become your own devil because you're trying to use that fucked up mentality that keep harming you as what's going to help you. Oops, let your life tell your tale though. Again, resonance and ignorance is the only thing you're going to get from me. You're going to get things that resonate, or you're going to get things that produce a need for you to ignore. But the whole answer is you got to let your life tell your tale. I have to let my life tell your tale. You got to let your life tell your tale. You got to let life tell his tale. That motherfucker up there that y'all keep waiting on got to let his life tell his tale too. That motherfucker down there that y'all keep blaming on everything got to let their life tell the tale too. But if who you waiting on to tell a tale ain't showed up to show you the story, you telling a lie. Next, 3/26/2025. Thoughts make you empathize with being controlled. Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome, when you fall in love, you fall in love with your abuser because you're waiting on your abuser to help you. You don't know who you are. Or you are in a careless journey of self-sabotage. 6 will probably come up. So, 3/26/2025. Thoughts make you empathize with being controlled. Stockholm Syndrome. You will fight to protect your abuser because you don't want to be free. You just want freedom from what's abusing you. Or you want your abuser to be less abusive. But 326 is also a 1010 source code, which you hear me call core traumatic programming. This is the underlying function, and it's almost always steeped in fear, but fear plays out in many different things. Fear isn't just, oh, I'm scared to open that door. Fear is, I'm scared to stop opening doors. Remember I gave you the analogy about taking these 6-week shaman courses because you think that you're going to have to go out here and open up all these new age spiritualities tied into old age antiquity medicine with new age thinkers. Let your life tell your tale. You think you're going to employ old magic into new magic because it's going to get you magic. The only thing in the commonality was you. Keep on using more things to pull you further apart and wondering why you can't hold yourself together. Because your core trauma of sitting still and figuring out why you are broken in perception means that you keep on giving your energy into broken methods trying to fix you. Shots fired. Y'all go to some of the most broken motherfuckers out here, waiting on them to give you an answer, and then wondering why you end up more unraveled than what you started. Make it make sense. But I digress. 3/26/2025. Stockholm Syndrome. You get 2 cards. Stockholm Syndrome. Judgment. Everything's been revealed, but if you have not seen what you want to see, what you're getting shown gets easily dismissed. I did not stutter. If you have not seen what you want to see, what's already being shown gets dismissed. See, that ain't what I've been told I'm looking for. But I'm sorry, but this is all it is. I'm sorry. The sky is blue, yeah, but they told me to wait till the sky turned orange. Always. But collective translates into individual. Purple. In my readings, therefore the collective, but the collective is only having an individual experience that it won't collect itself with. What I'm speaking about now, ding. What I'm speaking about now is pertinent to you and everybody else. It's just going to be tied into your perception of the experiences you're going through. Best way to get out of a collective thought form is to start taking individual accountability. Better start having better judgment. So if things have already been revealed, but it ain't what you want to see, the first person lying to you is you. People do that all day long, especially in relationships, the easy one, relationships. Well, I know that person ain't showing me what I want to see, but I'm going to give them time. Whose time? Mine. You're going to give them your time to further harm you, hoping that the harm that you already been introduced to will get reduced, or either you get conformed. Holy shit, Stockholm Syndrome. You'll have more love for what's abusing you than for your love for yourself. And again, as I said, it's a 1010 programming. So 3/26/2025 is going to show you where your core traumatic programming is based in the fear that you ain't enough for yourself. 2 6s. I told you a 6 was going to come up. 2 6. 26 is 2 6s. Self-sabotage. Empathy. You become more connected to what you think is in the path in front of you that you run yourself over. We see that all day long. We'll see people who have everything they need, but they've been taught a system of needing more or wanting something different. They'll throw away everything they have trying to get something different, and then wonder why they come up short. It's a core programming called empathy. You are energetically connected to everybody else. Remember, I just told you about a collective translates to an individual. You're energetically connected to everybody else, and because you're not aware of your own energy, you've eaten up too much of others. For almost a decade, I've been calling you empaths sympathetic distractors. You won't fix the holes in your own aura, your own light body, your own auric field, whatever fucking name you're going to lie to yourself about. You won't fix your own shit, so you wonder why you keep getting inundated with everybody else's inequities. You can't go into Walmart without getting sick because it's a reflection of the sickness you keep deflecting within yourself. But I'm doing the work. Yeah, you're doing the work on your traumas and not doing the work on you. You're trying to heal your traumas. You don't heal your traumas. You let them motherfuckers go. They've already happened. They've already taken all your energy. Why you keep giving them your life? Because we have to. Who told you that? Holy shit. Get back to the beginning of the reading. If the only thoughts you can think is from a system taught to keep you to stop thinking for yourself, why are you thinking that it's going to teach you how to think? Let your life tell you tale. Moving on to 327. 327, 2025. Thoughts will enslave you to needing control. It is sad to see and hard to say, but look at the state of decay we live in. People think that they need something else to happen when too much has already occurred. You think you need to see something else that's going to be the smoking gun or now's the time. Sorry, time's already passed. Holy shit. Time's already passed. Now you motherfuckers just being careless. We are well deep into idiocracy. Look the movie up. They live and we die. Look that movie up. They live. We are in greener pastures. So the state of decay that most people live in, most won't know what to do without a system to govern, and even more are lost without someone to sell their soul to via worship and belief. And it's sad. It's sad when you have been taught and put into a position within yourself to where you think you got to give praise to something else as a condition of finding the ability to find worthiness within yourself. Try finding worthiness within yourself and then seeing what's there to be praised. Try that. You won't, but try that. You won't, because it steps into your limitations. It's 36. You don't want to fuck around and find out. I don't want to fuck around and find out that this was me doing it to myself, for myself. Because then, holy shit, I really will be alone. That's a common fear for people who step into purported spirituality. When they leave organized formats of thinking and they start becoming the black sheep like y'all like to glamorize, stop being a sheep. Them motherfuckers get eaten too. Stop being a sheep. So when they glamorize that black sheep theory of, well, don't nobody understand me because I don't do this, that, and the other no more, you still stuck in that damn field of limitations. You're still scared to think that me moving different from others is giving me a chance to see who I am. You get that lonely feel is where I was going at. You start feeling alone to where now there's nobody that understand what I'm going through. That's the whole problem. You didn't understand what you was going through with everybody else in your energy. You might need to be by yourself. You might need that time to yourself to start making a better assessment of what's going on in your energy so that you can recognize where holy shit, that was me, and holy shit, that was what I was taught, or holy shit, that's just is what it is. But solitude does not have to equate into, and let your life tell your tale on when I say this. Solitude does not have to equate to abstinence and all this other shit. You should be able to conduct yourself accordingly. You don't have to, well, I ain't had a relationship in 32 years. That's some choice bullshit. That's you not trusting yourself to be smart enough to understand your experiences. That's all that bullshit is. You can lie to yourself all day long. Solitude is making sure that I understand how I move, why I move, and what I'm moving into before I make a decision. Hi, new car. Okay, I'll sign for it. See, you didn't do any solitude work in that analogy. I didn't find out what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, how much it's going to cost me. I didn't ask the questions. I just took the experience. So people get fucked up, especially when you see them, and it's going to be coming because we in spring now. Spiritual maintenance. I'm going to close my account down for 2 weeks and all that other bullshit because it's getting hard out here. It's hard out here because it's too hard in here. This is a fucking reflection. Internal produces the external. That's why I tell you empathy is only sympathetic distraction. The fact that you get out here and get ate up by everybody else's energy is because you're not securing enough within yourself. You gotta let your life tell your tale. Is it hard out here? Like I posted the other day, my advice for 2025. Is it hard out here? Yes, but it becomes easier when I stop giving everything my energy. But we've been taught to connect to everything that's placed in front of you and then figure out who you are. That's a reverse curse. That is a limitation. My dealings with this character here, the shaman, figure out who you are, or everything will tell you what it needs you to be. Unfortunately, the thoughts, 3, have only shown us our traumas, and our traumas control us. There is not a person in this realm that is not controlled by their traumas, even in the aspect of trying to say that I don't let things traumatize me. That's counter fucking trauma bonding. But let your life tell your tale. Trying to make sure you're not traumatized by watching out for the traumas still gives energy to the traumas. Just fucking be. And then when you come into an experience that is going to pull your energy the wrong way, sit your punk ass down and be still. Ta-da, game over. So 327, where my thoughts are going to enslave me into needing control. I have to control this experience. Well, why you got to control the experience? So it don't produce, holy shit, the one I already had, trauma. 328, 2025, your thoughts will distract you from alternative guidance. Basically everything I said. You out here looking for something to feel good to where you're at, when if you don't realize trying to find something that is correlated to where you're at is only going to leave you where you're at. You cannot go somewhere different by. It don't make sense.
Okay, so your water's off right now.
So the thoughts distract you from alternative guidance. People struggle to entertain anything different while constantly crying about seeing the same. Yet the fear mind deems change as a danger, so allowance rules the day. Remember I told you the fear mind was at 1010 core programming. I don't want to see anything different. If you show me something different, I might have to do work. Or if you show me different, I might find out where I was the only thing working myself. People fear that level of accountability and responsibility. So 328, where I tell you 28 is basically the siren, the sea hag in my cards, it's that voice in your head. Again, the reference Wakanda Forever or the Iliad, the Odyssey. When that siren gets too loud, you don't have any control. That siren can lead you to your death. That thought that becomes the voice in your head can control you. Unfortunately, the next full moon will show you that even more than the one before. Grippy socks. Not trying to be funny. Just the way energy works. We are now in a traditional new year. We are coming to the yearly quote-unquote consciousness reset. The partial moon, the next one. The moon before that allegory Easter bullshit that y'all are following or whatever. The resurrection point. It's all older than what it is, but it's still tied into the same thing. It's still tied into a reset point. This next full moon coming up is a reset moon. So if you're only resetting yourself in what you should have been letting go of, you only went down further into what you should have been letting go of. That is the veritable rabbit hole. So 328, where your thoughts have already distracted you from saving yourself, you're just trying to save what you think. You're just trying to save what you think is going to come save you. And that's bigger than religion. Don't read too much into that. That is, I've already told myself what is going to be required for me to feel better, and I can't be moved from that ideology. That is still trying to employ the same old tactics that keep you in a war. Still overcoming. That thought done fooled you. Remember I told you that thought that becomes the voice in your head? It becomes the old school shaman. The old school hermit. You're going to have to try and get to the mountaintop through that thought just so that you can get out of everything. But if you have to go through everything to get out of everything, did not everything go through you? Strike that from the records, Your Honor. Your Honor said I can't strike that. It's already been on the table. Oops, you got to deal with that one. If you keep giving your energy into everything already has you. Sit your punk ass down and be still. 329. Thought stabilize control. If I'm in control and you only trust me to guide you, why would I jeopardize my position trying to help you advance yours? Make that make sense. Really? If you got to come to me and give me all of your power, and then you're going to come to me for advice on how to get some of your power back, why the fuck would I tell you how to get some of your power back when the only way I survive is off of your power? Just do what you told. You already feeding me. Just stay in line. Really, make that make sense. Keep going to what's already got you under control to find a way to get more control for yourself. Idiocracy. It's already got your fire. This is the element of fire. The passion, the way I'll read this, understand that passion is your fires. Passion is your energy. Energy is what's used for creation. So if you keep fighting with somebody trying to take your power back, you're feeding them your power. You understand that? It's the age-old analogy, and Iceland showed you different. Other countries have showed you different, but Iceland is a good example. Instead of fighting with the motherfuckers that you think are in control, just take the control from them. But you got too many that are willingly enslaved and don't understand their own energy and more passionate about waiting on something else to control them because they have zero control for themselves. It'll never happen. You're already at 2-3. You're already connected to the thought that is now producing the experience. The experience that we're currently going through will not end as long as people think we have to go through the experience. That's as plain as I can tell you. What we are currently going through will not end as long as people think that this is what we have to go through. The experience that ancestrally we was in did not end because thought that it was something that we have to go through and still do. More passionate, more empathetic for what you're trying to overcome. There only was the limitation that revealed that you had bad judgment because now you helping the devil because you care less about yourself. So now the devil has become your God. Oops, 330. Remember we just had the 30? You going through the experience. You trying to make it through the experience so that you can get a different experience. By the time you get through going through the experience, it won't be nothing left of you. Sorry. So 330, 2025. The thoughts keep you coming over to what's got you in control. And 330 is a 555. You are trapped in movement. 5 is your vibrations in movement. You are trapped, mind, body, soul. You are vibrationally stuck. So the thoughts keep you coming over to what's got you under control, aka 555, trapped in movement, because as long as you cannot embrace stillness within yourself, you will only seek to make sense, or you will only seek to make what's seen as the safest move make sense. Whatever you think is going to be the best course to get out is going to be the only one you invest in. Unfortunately, if the only way to get out was given to you as the only way to make sure that you stay in, but you don't have enough common sense to see that, you gotta let your life tell your tale. If somebody can trick you into staying in a cage as a way to get out of the cage, the only thing keeping you in the cage is you. So stillness is the only way you're going to learn to stop moving. Stillness will allow you to sit still and see what's moving you and why, and then you get to make a choice. So on 330, when you keep coming over to what's got you under control, the whole problem was control. And here's that other 9, that hermit. Told you 30 was the old school hermit that made it through. This is the new age hermit who just trying to heal. I'm just trying to heal, and I'm covet my ability to heal. But holy shit, what do you see? It's supposed to be a 9, but it's really a 6. It's supposed to be a 9, but what you see is a 6. All you see is your trauma. You covered in your traumas. I just want to heal my traumas. But what are you doing by healing your traumas, giving all your traumas your energy? So you ain't healing you. You only healing the experiences you've been through, but that's a fucking pipe dream. You can't heal what you've been through. You can just make sure that you stay present and don't go through again. But you can't teach that because you've already been taught to covet what's got you under control. So that 555, you are coveting what you think you healing, but that's only going to secure you staying in motion. The 555. You're already trapped. You are already the hung man. You're hung up. You are already a sacrifice. Been telling y'all for well over a decade, everything is a ritual. Everything you do is a ritual. In order for you to keep the system going, there has to be somebody willing to sacrifice their energy by creating time, by creating an experience. The best way to keep this experience going is to make you care more about the experience itself than you do about yourself. And that's pretty much where we're at. Everybody is caught up in, again, this glamorized spirituality of thinking that my method is going to work, my healing course is going to work, my cognitive dissonance is going to work, the way I worship, who I don't worship, who I hate, who I love, all this other externalized ass energy. Y'all think that's going to be what gives you the space to be you. That becomes you with conditions. That becomes you with traumatized mindsets. But when you become your traumatized mindset, at this point in the game, you've been in your traumas for so long, you no longer invest in who you are. You're investing in whatever you think is going to show you the safest version of who you are not. Take your time with that one. So, wholeness, motherfuckers. But again, y'all love separation a little bit too much. It's a sickness.